ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to our second best of 3 series of the day featuring Team Liquid versus fnatic.eu. Of course, this is a Beyond the Summit presentation. I am Luminous from Beyond the Summit, and joining me alongside it is none other than Merlini himself. Merlini, are you back? No, he is not yet, but I'll be casting until he gets back. Team Liquid on the Radiant, Fnatic on the Dire. Team Liquid has the first pick to ban. Nyx Assassin, Keeper of Light will be their ban out, and TC's Lifestealer is going to get drafted up immediately. Meanwhile, on the Fnatic side, it's going to be Wisp and Batrider, and then they're going to be banning out Darkseer and Magnus. I have to say, Fnatic's one of my favorite team to cast and watch, simply because they do wonky, crazy stuff. I've seen them do 4 or 5 Lincolns here on the same team. I've seen them do crazy strats like Beastmaster, Boot Travel, and then TPing onto your Hawk, and then get some backstab, surprise spot sex gank. They do some crazy stuff, and I'm looking forward to them pulling some stuff out. Whenever you're back, Merlini, just let me know. Alright, good. Merlini, excellent. I did some crazy intro without you. The drafts are well underway. Darkseer is a hero that you've been harping on and on in game number 1, or series number 1 of Kaipi and Mouseport. He's here, being picked up very early. You respect Hero's power, and I do it too. Tell us why he's so good in terms of the laning stage as well as the mid-game team fights.
He's really good at shutting down melee heroes for him. We saw Anti-Mage pick up one game and Stealth Assassin, and those two heroes don't really have that much to do for Darkseer. We have seen some really skilled anti-mages able to solo against the Darkseer, but in general, Darkseer can shut down most melee heroes farming the early game. That's a really big deal, especially versus a formidable Lifestealer, and TC will most likely be playing him, and this Lifestealer is very scary, and I've just seen it crush many times, and that's only in the laning phase. And then mid to late game, you always have the Darkseer vacuum wall combo to worry about, especially with a Magnus. That's just very scary, and it decently counters open wounds. As soon as someone gets open wounded, you just surge them and run away, and it can mitigate a lot of the damage that Lifestealer can deal in that mid game phase.
Yep, for anybody who's just joining us, we didn't really talk about the teams themselves yet. IX Mike is not here. I'm not exactly sure where he is. 2 is Boba, and of course Fluff, Korok, and TC are all in place. I do believe Fly is not here for Fnatic, as Anti. I don't think that's Fly. I think he's standing in for Fly. So both teams using one stand-in. Hopefully it shouldn't affect the result too much. Obviously, you always want to play with your full Fly, but hey, what can you do about it? Team Liquid's going to round out their first 3 picks with Stormster and Shadow Demon. I like Storm being picked up a little bit earlier, simply because generally on the second stage, team always is very accustomed to ban out Quap, Puck, Storm, just to get rid of the free Lifestealer initiation with Infest. With the Stormster picked up this early, sure, the other team could work around it and counter it perhaps, but this is Korok Storm. He's very known for it. Most likely he's going to be going mid against Magnus, and it's going to provide that mid-game setup to initiate against the Darkseer, against the Magnus, who is going to try to counter-initiate with their own combos.
Yeah, the Lifestealer bomb is always a threat you have to worry about. And it looks like Shadow Demon might be played by Mojo Stormstout. That is stand-in.mss. I believe he plays for Fnatic N8 right now. And likely he'll be taking over that support role due to the absence of IX Mike. And we see a couple of the second phase bans get underway. Lone Druid taken out by Fnatic, and Gyrocopter taken out by Team Liquid.
And I guess there's really nothing too out of ordinary to talk about. Fnatic is a team that I imagine you've seen and cast quite a bit. Same thing with Team Liquid. Yesterday on the Cursed Gaming Invitational, they look very stellar. But I feel like Fnatic's one of those teams that could definitely knock Team Liquid off their throne, I guess you could call it that way, because they do crazy strats. Even though they pick very similar heroes as most other teams pick, their skill builds or item choices are very different. For example, Hani, if he's playing the Darkseer, he might go for the full vacuum, full surge full Iron Shell into full surge before he even taking a single point into the vacuum. That's a little bit of a build that he personally likes a lot more. So we'll see what adjustments Fnatic will be making, because you definitely need to adjust when you're playing Team Liquid, who's arguably one of the best West team in the world right now.
Yep, most definitely. And another ban, Bane. Again, no surprise there. Very good counter, or decent counter to Lifestealer. Curious to see what hero Fnatic will play as their carry, because their playstyle is going to revolve heavily around that hero, whether it be a Luna, which will provide a lot of early game and pushing capabilities, or whether it's Anti-Mage or Phantom Lancer. Those are also very popular choices in combination with Magnus. They could also opt for some other ones, but those are the main three that I'm looking at. Most notably, there is still a Nyx Assassin in the pool, and Nyx Assassin can shut Storm Spirit down pretty well. That mana burn just hits like a truck, and Storm Spirit is very useless without mana, especially without a Keeper of the Light to back him up with Chakra Magic.
Well, it seems like Team Liquid's a little bit more worried about the Luna, so they'll ban that one out. Leshrack's going to be the pickup here, so SC Leshrack is going to be the dual roaming combo. I seen Fluff play Leshrack yesterday in the Curse Gaming Invitational. Did a lot of really good splitter there. In one instance, I think he was able to even take down a BKB Gyro as a support Leshrack. So we'll see if he's going to be having a good performance in this particular game. Meanwhile, Fnatic banning out a Nature's Prophet themselves. They use Nature's Prophet very well. I think Trixie was the one that really reintroduced the power of a kind of be one of the most annoying Nature's Prophet by split pushing, getting that Shadow Blade up early, but not going to see it in this game. We're going to see a Chen instead, so a little bit more opting for a big push, something very reminiscent of what Alliance is running in the past month or so. We'll see if they're going to pick out, let's say, a Dragon Knight to really fully complement their push, or let's see if they're going to go for a different path.
I really like the Chen pickup. Looking at Team Liquid's lineup, they actually don't really have that much anti-push. Maybe if Leshrac stills up Lightning Storm, but most of the time it is a split Earth into a max Diabolic Edict build that we see from Leshrac's. And again, Lifestealer, not much AoE. Shadow Demon, not much AoE. Even their last pickup, not much AoE. So I think they are quite vulnerable to a push strat. Smartly, they did ban out Luna, though, and that is one of the stronger heroes. And again, Anti-Mage, no surprise there. I was looking at Anti-Mage PL and Luna, and with Luna banned, not too many options left for them. And he's, again, one of the better carries, especially in combination with that Empower. Just makes melee heroes that much stronger. I think they will have sufficient... they will create sufficient space for Anti-Mage to farm in the early game and hopefully get an early Battle Fury.
Yeah, in the mid game, as Korok, you always worry about that big Mana Void that's going to be coming your way. As a Storm, you use a lot of your mana to initiate, and if you get a kill or you help your teammates to set up a good kind of team fight, that's all your job is really set to do. But once the Mana Void comes, especially if there's an RP involved there, suddenly your entire team could be blown up. So that's something that Team Liquid gotta be somewhat careful about. Clockwork's gonna be the last pickup here, and those cogs are so damn annoying. And to be honest, they're fine. They're fairly decent as a counter push tool as well. You drop those cogs in front of a tower, and everything else is gonna get bounced back and forth like a ping pong ball, and that will slow down the push. You talked about the Leshrac going for an Edict build. Any chance of him switching to a Lightning build, considering that the team is lacking a little bit in terms of AoE and counter push? Maybe they need it a little bit more?
I think it just depends on how the game goes. Edict is certainly better versus Anti-Mage just because it's composite damage and Lightning is pure magic. But again, I think they are very vulnerable to pushing, but they do have pretty strong lanes though. Storm should be able to do decently well versus Magnus if they choose to put Magnus middle. Clock is very difficult to kill in lane and will most likely be able to get levels, and they have one of the strongest triple lanes out there, Nakes in combination with a SD Lesh, and that is very potent. If they can get off to a good start, they can just go a pure offensive build and create enough pressure around the map to sort of mitigate Chen's early game presence.
Yeah, pressure is the name of the game. It really depends on whether, for example, Team Liquid has the option to go into the enemy jungle and start harassing that Chen, or at least drop off a couple of observers / sentries to make his life a little bit more difficult to deal with. I imagine both tri-lanes is going to dodge each other and just work for the early game objective, whether it's by pushing down towers or setting up ganks on the mid lane. Speaking of that mid lane, I feel like that's this game's X factor. Whoever is going to have the bigger impact. I know Korok generally likes to go for a quick Orchid build. Once in a while, he likes to go for a Bloodstone build when he gets the absolute free farm. But as a mid hero here, I don't think he has the option to do so. And of course, I imagine the Magnus is going to go for that cookie cutter Arcane to Blink build. Although this is Fnatic, so they might do something crazy.
Oh, yeah, they do some weird stuff now and then. So for Liquid's lineup, we have TC, the Drafter. On Lifestealer, we have Korok, most likely on the mid-roll with Storm Spirit. Fluff not playing his usual Leshrac. Instead, he will be on Shadow Demon in IX Mike's absence. Boba on the Clockwork, most likely in a solo lane, but we have yet to see. And Rebirth, who is also known as Mojo Stormset, will be on the support Leshrac.
Yep. Meanwhile, on the Fnatic side, without Fly, they'll be drafting with No Tail. It's going to be playing that Micro Chen. Anti is going to be playing Rubik. Honey's going to be going mid most likely with Rubik. Or excuse me, not Rubik, with Magnus. Trixie will be playing the long lane Darkseer and Era on the Anti-Mage. So we do have our customary 10-minute post pause before or after every draft. How do you feel, who has the advantage in terms of the picks? You talked about Team Liquid being go very offensive. But Fnatic does have a very dangerous kind of 10-15 minute push that Team Liquid might not be able to deal with. Who has a better draft in your opinion?
I think Fnatic has a better draft right now. They have a little bit of everything. They have a pretty strong early game with the Chen. They have very strong team fight with the Darkseer vacuum into an RP with the Wall of Replica and Mana Void to follow with an Empower AM. And again, they do have the late game. I think AM is one of those heroes that can actually outcarry a Nake's late game. He's not very vulnerable to the open wounds, rage, focus down that we see a lot of the weaker heroes such as Luna, such as Gyrocopter falsely to most of the time. And as Storm burns his mana, he's just going to be better and better target for that very large mana void damage. But it is really on Liquid to try and take control of this early game. They need to try and shut down Chen early, whether it be preventing him from pushing, preventing him from getting early kills. They really need to try their best to shut that down. And then they also need to make very good use of the Nake's Bomb. They have two good potential Nake's Bomb, one inside of the Storm Spirit and one inside of the Hookshot. So I think it's really on Liquid to put a lot of pressure on Fnatic. But they have been very well known to actually just completely take control of the game in 15 minutes. So I think this game could go either way, even though Fnatic has a slightly stronger draft in my opinion.
Well, we do see Team Liquid hovering in the enemy jungle, trying to drop down a couple of wards. I saw Fluff and stuff just walk into enemy jungle with a single pair of Observe Ward. Was wondering, was he pulling his carry heroes or what was he doing? He just had his items slowly being ferried in on the courier. This is something that you generally do if you don't want to show them what item you have. You just don't carry items and then go ward and then deliver the item yourself later. Speaking of pulling though, Lifestealer does have a extra pair of Tango being pulled them by support. It's going to be a 1v1 matchup here. You can see that feat's already being taken. And how do you feel that this lane matchup is going to go against Trixie? He's going to get a ton of farm, but at the same time, actually, TC doing a ton of damage, ton of harass to him. At least it's going to burn a Salve, or at least a Tango or two usage. And TC, is he going to go for... No, he's not. I was going to say maybe a little bit too divey for him.
Yeah, that would be Superman mode. Looks like No-Tail will start off in the Radiant jungle, so very offensive play from Chen right here, but it will be 3v2 for them on top lane, and Era might be shut down in his early game farm. He is pulled a soul set of Tangos from Anti.
I mean, if you guys haven't seen this Clockwork tri-lane, and if it's a little bit baffling, it's actually a very, very powerful tri-lane. Any type of initiation, suddenly you're dealing with a 5-second quote-unquote pseudo-disable being trapped within those cogs. Sure, those cogs can be destroyed. It takes 3 hits, but by the time that you hit those cogs 3 times, you're probably dead. So, especially with, you know, Leshrac Splitter from top, and all those physical right-click coming from Shadow Demon Leshrac as well as Boba. So, I imagine the ideal target to go on is going to be Rubik, and he should stay very, very far back.
So we already see Chen pick up a Wildkin, quite lucky there, and he also got very lucky in this spawn too. Double Ogre camps and no Mud Golems that will ruin this early double pull with Tornado strategy. So he's gonna find some lucky farm there. Trixie already going behind the wave, trying to mitigate TC's farm by forcing him to tank creeps at the tower. But he does have a stout shield, so I don't think he's in any danger there. Era opting to pick up Blink level 1, most likely Spell Shield at level 2. This will be a very passive lane from Fnatic.
Yeah, all they really want to do is make sure Anti-Mage gets some farm, make sure he doesn't die at all. And really, that's all you can ask for this lane. Meanwhile, Team Liquid doing a little bit of tunnel pulling through here, trying to get a lot more CS and EXP, especially on those two supports. These two supports have the option to roam off into the lane with a smoke and try to gank mid. Clockwork should not get picked off here, but it's somewhat of a risky move. You might not get that first blood mid. Speaking of first blood mid, looks like we do have Chen rotating in. He has a furball creep, and he's going to get a couple of clap off. Korok might be in big trouble. Skewer to apply the slow. More slow being clapped up here, and Korok is going to drop the first one. I think he magic sticks up, but it will not be enough. Hani draws first blood, and that's a huge win on the mid lane. If you could stave off Storm's level 6 for as long as possible, back in the top lane, Fluff gets lifted up. Fluff's gonna self-disrupt, the Splitter's not gonna be on top, and nice cogs here, but it looks like Air's gonna blink out, and there's another kill being claimed. Meanwhile, Anti's on the run, and looks like MSS is trying to get the kill, but Splitter is gonna hit. They're gonna pick off a kill. Very nicely done, but Anti-Mage trying to do a little bit of return kill himself. He would not have blink red. He does, but he's gonna get back out. Meanwhile, looks like we do have Hani getting position. The cogs are coming through one more time, and Boba in huge trouble as well. Because Boba's out of mana, that mana break won't do too much damage, and looks like he's gonna be fine. But right now, we do see back in the bot lane, I don't have a moment to pause. Looks like we're gonna see a little bit surge back out, but Where's the Rage? Rage being used a little bit too slow. TC's going to run towards the safety of the tower, but they could dive it very easily. They have the creep support as well as the Furball tanking a ton of damage, and Iron Shout's going to bring them yet another kill. It's going to be 3 early kill to 1. Team Liquid, we talked about how they're usually the aggressive one, but they're in huge pressure right now. Only 3 minutes in, down by 2 kills and a ton of gold.
This is exactly where Fnatic wants to be early game. They're using their Chen to great effect, picking up 1 kill in middle and 1 kill on bottom already, so both their solo lanes already the underdogs. And they're doing okay on CS. Storm Spirit has 14 creep kills opposed to Mag 7, but that early death is going to cost him quite heavily. And I'm very surprised at this death in the top lane. Usually in a 3v2 situation, it's the AM who's just scrambling to find any sort of farm, but him being able to pick up a kill even before Hani rotated top is just a huge win for them.
Yeah, and now he's up to 1,000 gold. If he wants to get that Ring of Health, he's basically set in the laning stage, and it's really hard to harass him out of lane. You're never going to really kill this lane as long as the Rubik is in position. He'll just stay far back and make sure he doesn't get comboed upon. So it feels like Fnatic is winning every single lane so far, and generally that is the winning combo to make sure that you set off early, get those really tier 1 towers. But for now, Liquid Korok looking for his own level 6. I imagine once Korok gets level 6, he can single-handedly turn the game around, roam up top, get a kill there, roam to bot and get a kill there. And I think Chen wants to shut him down, but I think he understands that the gank is coming his way. Chen's been missing in jungle for a long time.
Very smart tree eating by here too. If you look to the east side of the T1 tower, he actually ate 3 trees there, so that clears up a little bit of vision for him, and will probably scout out a Storm Spirit gank. He is only vulnerable for maybe a couple more minutes before he hits level 6.
RP's gonna get used. Skewer backwards, perhaps? No, it looks like the Furbox coming in, and Korok in a little bit of trouble. Where's the Skewer forward, perhaps? He doesn't have mana just yet for the bottle. He will bottle up, and there's gonna be the Shockwave. Use it, my friend. No, he saves the mana. Does have the double damage to really get him all the right-click damage he needs, and that's yet another Storm kill. Korok generally very dominant on that Storm. This game not having such luck.
And yeah, just Chen is just doing great work. Great movement from him, constantly applying pressure in mid. Usually, we might see another kill from...
Well, maybe it's going to be return kill. Fluff's going to initiate a Split on top. Soul Catcher's not there, though. He went for the poison. Shockwave's going to hit, but Fluff is too tanky for that one. One more hit. They're going to get the kill. Shadow Demon picks up that one. That's good amount of levels, but more importantly, saves off that quick Arcane buy. So really, really important kill. Magnus, though, I talked about these guys loving to readjust their item builds. Instead of Arcane, it's going to be a Drums build, seems like, from the Magnus. So yeah, it's not a bad early game item, but it seems like mana should be an issue, even though the drum does give you some decent stats in that.
Yeah, especially with a Clockwork on the other team, that Cog, I mean, you'll get hit by Cogs more often than not, but a lot of overextension by Hani there. He miscalculated the damage on the Shockwave for Shadow Demon. He hit him, but he still didn't die, and because of that, no man to skewer away to safety. I think he could have gotten away from the Leshrac. He only had Edict, again, no points in Lightning to counter push, and for that long range nuke. We see Fnatic No Tail on top lane.
Yeah, they want to really start up the collab, the slow. Where the slow? Yeah, there's going to be the call coming in, though, but perhaps that helps Era a little bit more. Boba, one hit away, and Splurf, that's got to land. It does land, and Era not going to get the kill. So very well played here from our stand-in player. Let's see if the Dire team is going to transition into a push. No, because the rotation comes in from the support. Fluff is right there as well. So for the most part, Fnatic in dominant control of this game, but right now, I don't think Team Liquid's going to take it lying down. They're still looking for the early game objective. Storm, not level 6 just yet. He's so close. And he needs a tele-up score once he hits 6, because I think his other lanes really need help.
And No Tail got some early luck with the creeps with the Wildkin and the double Ogre stack, but he doesn't actually have any disables right now, just a Hellbear Smasher and a Satyr Tormentor, both of which aren't particularly useful during the Cog there. I feel like if he had better luck with the creeps, he would have been able to score that kill on the Clockwork, but that's just how it is with Chen sometimes. We see a double smoke from the supports in the middle.
And they're going to try to set up a gank. Oh, the Splitter is going to hit. Pole's going to follow through. They got to burst down Hani because he has an RP. He's going to RP. Oh, that's going to be 3-man. Pushing into a tier 3 tower. Shockwave for a double kill. Tower for the last hit. I was about to say Hani was falling a little bit asleep because there is a Sentry Ward there. So he should have sniffed out the smoke gank. But, well, it worked out just fine because they did not have enough burst damage to kill Hani. And, well, triple kill. That's going to be his quick Arcane.
Wow.
Yeah.
Completely paid for himself right there. Yeah.
OP Bracer.
Definitely less than 6 strengths worth of HP. So, I mean, it's an uncommon build, but it definitely worked out for him right there. Triple kill. That is just a huge blow to Liquid. Unbelievable play by Hani right there.
And yep, he does have his Arcane Boot finish, does have a teleport scroll. I gotta say, if you use 2 RP before 8 minutes and both RP netting you insane amount of profit and kills and like that, you can't ask for nothing else. And Team Liquid, I mean, their roaming is there, their support plays are there, but it's just turning against them because this Chen is just a lot more effective. Chen has been farming in jungle for the past couple of minutes, now level 6. How do you actually get a kill against Fnatic? They're up in terms of levels, they're up in terms of items, and they have a Hand of God on top. So it's going to be Team Liquid's job to get something done, but I don't think they could get anything done because of the level deficit as well as the Hand of God being available.
And Korok is 0-3 right now. He's very underfarmed. Just Bottle, Brown Boost, Magic Wand, and Iron Branch. And he really needs some items if he's going to survive. He hasn't even fought the AM yet. And once the AM starts joining the fights, that Mana Void is just going to kill him, especially without any HP on his build right now. And it looks like Chen is just trying to hit level 7 really quickly. He might try and pressure top lane while most of Liquid is around the bottom half of the map. TC finally has some time to free farm, though. We see Trixie go off to the jungle and sometimes creep pool. Looks like he may go for an early pipe, judging by the Ring of Health, and that is pretty common considering Chen's almost always rush that early mech.
Yeah, and well, early pipe is going to be very, very effective to the likes of Leshrac, Shadow Demon, who nukes fairly hard. We do see Chen putting up a very deep observer ward. I love observers like this, trying to make sure that the reinforcement path is not being cut off, as well as being able to really dive towers. And Clockwork is one of the most difficult hero to dive. You see that he's stacking bracers as well as Belt of Giant Strength. It's going to be very tanky, but to an anti-mage, I could blink in and do a ton of damage, as well as Rubik. They could actually burst him down quite easily, and they're waiting for the creep equilibrium to push up, and the Chen creep is going to cut off any retreatment path. Here we go. They're going to try to get the kill. Boba could... I want to say he should be okay if he gets out now. Uh oh, here comes Chen creeps. I don't know. Where's the cogs? Nice body block coming from No Tail, and the teleport support should be it. That's going to be a lifestealer, but Hani's also waiting on the wings. He has RP. I think he wants to go in. He can get surged up as well. Teamfight's going to break out. Mana Void's going to get dropped. Where's the RP? That's going to be 2 man. Boba's going to get focused. Boba's dead. So 2 more kills gets picked up here. Tier 1 tower's going to go down. TC's going to pop out of Infest. I think he should be okay. Yeah, he is fine. But at the end of the day, 2 more kills for only a Chen, which is not exactly a big kill considering that his Chen creeps are still available. And a tier 1 tower, more and more big victory for Fnatic.
Yeah, that was just a huge mistake by the Leshrac there. TPing in and dying before pretty much a fight even started. That pretty much is costing this tower. Although it looks like Liquid will be able to defend it. But you can exactly see what Fnatic's game plan is. They have a ward right here, ward right here, ward right here. So they really want to take control of this map and really get this T1 tower down and keep up the pressure on Liquid. They have a good start. Why throw it away? They're just going to keep continuing the pressure. And TC doesn't have an infest.
Yeah, he's gonna rage out of there with phase, but he should be fine. He also has about 1 billion items on his stash. Need to pick up his drums and magic wand. And he says, "All right, you have your infest initiate. I do too, except this one a little bit less intimidating." Meanwhile, we do see a little bit of SD action in the jungle or in the river. Hani's gonna basically well towards his way of Blink Dagger. Kind of a day and night compared to this Magnus and what we saw from Kaipi, as that Magnus never had a blink in either game ending. Hani's gonna have his one in good time, thanks to that triple kill he got, thanks to those kills that he got early as well. They really want some early game tower, especially considering the fact that they have a Darkstar and Chen, 2 of the better pushers. But so far, Team Liquid doing an excellent job making sure that all their towers, albeit low HP, are still alive.
See the smoke from these 4.
Yeah, they're gonna try to set up a gank. I'm not sure whether they, like you said, they smoked it and under the ward. Did they see it?
I think they smoked it right here. I'm not exactly sure if the ward saw it. It was just at the edge of the vision, but looks like Fnatic knows, judging by the way they're playing.
They're going hell back, and yeah, they're pinging. They know Chen's nearby. They need to initiate a fluff. Where's the disruption? They do have it. They gotta get that Chen kill, and they will get the Chen kill. So very nicely done. The question is how much they're gonna pay for it. Era is surged up. He wants MSS. MSS is probably gonna go blow down. Mana Void's not gonna really hit too much, but there's 1 kill. Fluff is gonna try to get Boba a kill. Boba gets a double. Where's the RP? RP still nope, not on cooldown. They're gonna get Boba as well. So the foray into enemy jungle, 2 for 2 trade at the end of the day. They got a buyback as well, but Storm wants a little bit more. They want Era. I'm not sure whether they can get Era. Korok's low. Korok using every bit of mana. Nice mana adjustment. And can they get a kill on Era? Hand of God comes in, and TC will turn it around. He goes into the Chen creeps. Gotta actually pop out of the creep very quickly because you don't want to get sent back to the base. Era's still low, and he's gonna find, yeah, he's gonna salve up, and he is gonna make it out alive. Meanwhile, TC also TP out with the cover of Rage. That was a hectic team fight. End of day, it was a 3 for 2 trade. Storm was the key person dying there. And I think Rubik was forced to buy back there as well, but still Fnatic big lead.
Yeah, and I mean, they're killing the Chen, but he's not the important hero. He's not the hero you want to kill. AM is sitting at a very pretty 2-0 and 4, and he was in the defensive lane. Defensive lane 3 versus 2, so I think he's doing very well considering the laning phase and considering the hero matchup. He has Treads, Perseverance, and 1100 gold, so he will probably have like a 16-17 minute battle fury, especially if they take down this tower, but it looks like Liquid is not going to give it up so easily.
Yeah, Liquid trying to get that tier 1 themselves. I gotta say, these observer wards on the top portion of the map have definitely paid for itself. The smoke being garnered out as well.
We see a blink dagger up.
On who?
On Magnus.
Uh-oh. This is one of the earliest blink possible. He does have his RP in about a couple of seconds here. Rage being used on the top lane. That's gonna bait out a glyph, and looks like the entire team is on full retreat. Meanwhile, Stormster really on the back line here. He sees No Tail. He's using all of his mana. Is he gonna get the kill? The triple centaur doing so much work, but Korok's gonna get the job done. Monavoid's gonna do a ton of damage. Here comes a Clockwork Cook trying to do a little bit of a readjustment. Oh no, Anti should be fine as well. Skewer back in. Boba's low, but pull from Anti. Man, just whole bunch of spell being thrown out. TC doing a ton of damage as well. I gotta say, these kind of initiation balls deep from Team Liquid working out well so far. Stormster does have more mana to actually trying to kill. Oh, RP, that's going to be on one. Korok's going to go down as well. Maybe a little bit of overextension. Team Liquid got what they needed. They should have just backed out. TCL still looking for more, but Hani's so tanky. Look at this body blocking coming from Treaty. TC's big, he's fat, but he's not able to find any kills because he's just a melee hero. Yeah, they still want a little bit more on Fluff. Fluff is low. Fluff is actually going to get burst down as well. Man, I think Team Liquid really had a huge overextension. They got the kills they should have got out. TC's gonna invest in, gets a ton of HP, gonna tango out and go the other way. He lives at the end of the day. Is this fight over just yet? No, it's not. No, it is. All right. Whew. 16-7 is the lead here for Fnatic. And Team Liquid not looking good despite having a good start of that team fight.
Yeah, and a lot of teams will look to play passive at this point. I mean, they're behind. They're over double the kill. Fnatic has over double the kills of Liquid, and most teams would just try and sit back. Okay, we'll play passive, farm it up, and we'll just give away a couple of towers in exchange for trying to come back and farm. But Liquid is choosing to go the other route, just countering by even more aggression than Fnatic. But it is costing Storm very heavily. We see another smoke from him, and they're again just continuing up the aggression and just trying to find kills wherever they can. But Korok, again, 1-5-0, only able to have one kill this whole entire game. That's really the story for Liquid.
Storm zipping in against 3 of 4. He gets picked up, and suddenly all of his mana being burned out. I think it's time for Liquid to retreat. But no, they want to pull the AM because of the 2 illusions being created. But blinking, is that going to be RP? Hani doesn't have it just yet. Boba's low. Boba's going to get blown the hell up. Storm's already dead. Fluff is on the run. And the way that they're playing right now, it's definitely not paying off as Fluff gets blown up as well. Buyback comes from Bobo. I think this is almost suicidal in the way they're playing because those ganks is not just, it's not going their way. Not only they're dying multiple times, they're also using those precious smokes that is so important during the mid game. And they're going to start losing towers as well. I'm not sure whether this is ultimately the correct game plan from Team Liquid. Hindsight is 2020 and it looks like it isn't the correct game plan, but I don't know if they just play farming Dota versus an anti-mage who has a great start. I'm not too sure whether that's a winning game plan in his own right. So I feel like they're just trapped between a rock and a hard place.
I really like how Fnatic is not playing greedily. Like, Hani got that really early first blood on Storm, but again, he went for a Bracer, and that definitely paid off. And same with Anti-Mage. Anti-Mage had an early kill, which he wasn't supposed to get, but he still goes for early Trez as opposed to rushing Battle Fury, and he just barely escaped away with his life, and this very safe, calculated, not greedy play from Fnatic, aside from maybe this overextension in Magnus close to the T2 tower in middle. It's just really working out for them, and you can tell that they're very experienced as a team and ready to handle Liquid's aggression with very careful, calculated, and not greedy play.
Yeah, normally I would talk about, man, 17 minutes in this AM, you know, 4-2 or what it was, 4-0 and 8 now, still doesn't have his Battle Fury. I would call it, it's a very, very late one. But like you said, not being greedy, just making sure you get what you need for now, and then the farm will come slowly later. Era will now have its Battle Fury, needs to pick up a Quelling Blade, and suddenly the farm train will start to go choo-choo, and it's going to be hard for Fnatic, hard for Liquid, who already is down by 6-7k gold, to really kind of play any catch-up. You cannot match AM's farm. Not with heroes like Storm and Lifestealer. They just don't have the same farming capacity.
Yeah, and now we see the Chen already have a mech in a stash, and Trixie's pipe has been completed for quite a long time now. So Fnatic is in a very good position. They already have a stronger team fight lineup to begin with Darkseer and Magnus, and now with this mech and pipe pickup, it's going to be very difficult for Liquid to find any kills. They do need to start making use of the Nake's bomb, though I don't believe Infest has been used offensively. Mostly it's just been used defensively, but that is their one opportunity to come back and kill, unless they manage to find Fnatic in sort of like a split up position. But as of this far, they've been playing very well coordinated. Everyone is very close together and very well responding to Liquid's ganks and aggression.
And taking advantage of the fact that they have a Chen and that big early game lead with the pipe and mech already up, they're going to pick up the Aegis. Anti-Mage gets the Aegis immortal, so he is literally immortal for a long time. And with the Hand of God, with the Aegis, with his high level, you're not going to kill him, especially with the fact that he's going for this a little bit of stat heavy build. And here comes a tier 1 push. Tier 1 tower is already low. I don't think Team Liquid's going to fight over this one. They need to pick up those key items, whether it's going to be the mech, whether it's going to be, well, TC's going to be teleporting back to the tier 2. Is this going to be the Infest bomb that you were talking about? Do you see Shadow Demon? I'm not exactly sure why he's there on the bot lane. Maybe just doing a little bit of pressure, trying to bring down at least a tier 1 tower for a trade, I guess. But that tier 2 is a bigger objective for them, and they got to defend it.
Yeah, I agree. That's pretty much their only AoE. Level 3 Shadow Poison and no Lightning. They have Rocket Flare, but that's like almost 20-second cooldown. They really don't have any AoE to deal with this. They have 3 Chen Creeps with the Alpha Wolf for extra damage, and they have the Aegis of the Immortal on the Anti-Mage, and I doubt this aggression from Fnatic is going to stop anytime soon. And Hani just picking up a very easy kill on the overextended Shadow Demon on bottom.
Yeah, RP was not expanded for it, just Blink Skewer, a couple of Shockwaves, gonna get the job done. So Fluff not having a good day so far here either. I'm not too sure whether it's due to IX not being here, who's generally their core 5 player, and you know, a lot of the roaming, a lot of the aggression, early game aggression is gonna be through him. And so far, the effects of him not being here is really not helping out. They're gonna try to get a tier 1 tower mid. RP is up. There's mech, there's pipe. This is again a very, very kind of greedy, aggressive play. RP just to use for 110. They actually burst him down. A lot of burst damage with the Test of Faith. Korok jumps in. His buddy's not there. Vacuum, piping used. Oh my god. Mega kill. Unstoppable on Era. He wants more. He's going to blink forward. They see Korok. Korok does have a regen ring, but he's got to blink out. Just use your mana. He's waiting, still waiting. Is he looking to actually turn around? Purse going to be used against Fluff. Fluff's going to get blown up as well. One more Blink's going to do the job. Looks like Chen's going to pick the heal. Fluff calls GG. Might be a little bit too early considering the tier 2 is still up, but it's definitely GG in my book. Look at the goal chart. They can't even win a single team fight. Yeah, I mean, the draft, I don't think anybody got outdrafted here. It's really, really big outplay through no tower in my opinion. Great ganks from him and good rotations, and certainly Fnatic just put Liquid in a huge hole and they never climb out of it.
Yeah, he really set up Hani for that early start. Again, Storm has the big upper hand on Magnus in middle. That is considered by many to be quite a one-sided matchup for Storm, but No-Tail just doing great amount of work and allowing Hani to get that early start, that early bottle, that early bracer, and then just letting him run away with all these really great RPs. Even one-man RP on that Nake's allowing him to take him out before the fight started. He's pretty much their only source of damage on Team Liquid, and I think Hani made a lot of good decisions and a lot of great plays in this game.
Yeah, the only mistake was the big dive he did against Fluff, but still, you can't really ask for too much of anything else. Fnatic will actually walk away game 1, being up a game. This is a best of 3 series for the replay top 8 bracket. I am Luminous, he is Merlini, and game 2, possibly game 3, will be coming up in just a bit. I hope you guys are enjoying the broadcast so far. And well, Fnatic is looking very strong. Team Liquid going back to the drawing board, and hopefully they have a better show for game 2. We'll be back just momentarily. I hope you guys are enjoying the broadcast, and that's it for now.